What's up YouTube? This is our first video of TnM Cardfight. Just gonna do a little introduction basically for Cardfight Vanguard. As many of you know, it's one of those upcoming card games, or one of those developing ones. A lot of people are arguing about whether or not the game is gonna stay. I won't have an opinion on that because that's clearly something that should be argued in another place. But the first thing I want to do is talk about comparing Yu-Gi-Oh and Cardfight Vanguard, which is something you can't really. Well, you can do it, it's just not very sound. The biggest connection they probably have that people will say is that they're both anime-based card games and they're from Japan, which is probably what's driving them. But, in my opinion, and most of the opinion of the people who actually play Cardfight and understand it, I'm kind of taking a stab at the Yu-Gi-Oh people. It's because everybody has this thick mindset when they start a card game. They're like, okay, I'm going to invest in this, I'm going to stay with it and be firm with it. And when another one comes up and people start saying it's going to happen, people will argue about it just because they want to protect what they're doing and they've already invested how much into Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Mainly the first thing I want to point out with Cardfight is the game is actually pretty cheap right now. It runs off of a set clan system, kind of like, I guess you could say Magic and Pokemon, how they have different colors. And you basically, during each set they'll release certain support for each clan and you basically go off of there. Cardfight doesn't have many stable cards. There's no overly expensive card that goes $40 constantly, except for the few money cards that each deck needs to pilot it. I mean, this card here, SP Vermilion, right? I guess it's the equivalent of an Ultra or Ghost, Ultimate or Ghost in Yu-Gi-Oh. But it's a key card for a deck, so it goes for maybe $60 right now.
No big deal.
No, it's not. It's not really a big deal because the original Triple R version, right?
It's $30.
It's $30 in most places. On eBay you can go buy it now for $20. Shows how cheap the game is, right? The main staples for the deck would just be your boss monsters and null guards, but they're not completely necessary to play the game either. So yeah, the difference is there are big differences between how the games are played, so you can't really compare them through there either. A lot of people make fun of Cardfight for the fact that when you get attacked, you guard from your hand. Everybody calls it a mini Honest or a mini Kalut. That's one mechanic in the game that really you don't need to compare because it's trying to do something different, I guess. And it's one of those innovative factors that I find that made Cardfight fun because it means that no card is a dead draw. Every card would have a use, basically, because it's all monsters, and they'll have the 6 area circles where each card can go. It's not useless. Like I said, no card is useless because you can put it down and attack with it or boost with it, and it goes off. The balance between the games. Yeah, you're not spending a lot of money on Cardfight. It's easy to profit in the game. You can go crack a box, break even almost constantly. Fair pricing for boxes, for those who want to know, is anywhere between, I guess you could say, $70 and $80, 80 being the highest you should go. Online is cheaper, obviously.
The best way to get into this game is structure decks.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
Yeah. The structure decks in the game, there's only 4 out in English right now, but those 4 are basically all the top tier decks right now.
So funny.
The 2 red ones basically go, you buy 2 of them, or you even buy 1 of them, and they're near competitive. The other 2, you'd have to invest a little more from packs into just to make the deck go off because they're the main clans from the show and they get some of the better support most of the time. But they're the easiest way to get in. I mean, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where you have to constantly buy new cards in order to keep up with the game. Right? This is what I was trying to get at originally. I kind of trailed off, but the starter decks are pretty much all you need to get to play the game. In my opinion, personally, Vanguard is more of a skill game compared to money. Whereas, Yu-Gi-Oh, you can say it's both, but that's because, you can go 3 tour guide, derp, get your Zen mains, get all this, and then just sack your wins from top decking.
Yeah.
The thing, since Vanguard is you can play off of a starter deck, it's basically because you need to, starter decks come with the instructions, the playmat, quick guide on how to play the deck usually. You can, basically in Japan, one of the topping decks that's been happening for a while is basically just 2 structure decks put together. They're 2 Kagero starter decks with Dragonic Overlord in them, and they go, you put the 2 together and you take the Gokus, and it's still topping, I believe. It's been topping since it came out.
Yeah, you know, Overlord End helps too.
Overlord the End came out, which also makes the deck stronger, but it's like the deck with this guy in it. Starter deck comes with 2 of them, and you basically get 4 of those, and you get 2, one of these per deck. He's what makes the deck good. He's been what's topping, or like making the deck top because of his skill. Like I said, they're basically 2 at highest $20 decks. And when you compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh, what the topping decks in Yu-Gi-Oh in like any format would be is like, you know, you see mess ups with like Wind-Ups, Inzectors, Dino Rabbit. Vanguard is starter decks. I get 2 starter decks and I get a near complete deck that I don't have to invest much in unless I want to get the big money cards, right? Yeah.
So, Senior Dopeness.
The other top for like Japan is, as we know, like the Royal Paladins. Different format, but you know, Laser Blade starter deck goes. It's not as strong as Kagero, but this one's one that needs more booster support. Like if you're looking to get into game, I suggest like if you're jumping from Yu-Gi-Oh, play Kagero. And if you want to play like if you have the money to spend, you really want to invest in Vanguard and have fun with it. I guess you could say invest in Royal Paladins.
Or gold.
Yeah, or gold.
Anything with Paladin in its name.
Although I want, yeah.
Seem to be pretty good.
The mechanics on Vanguard is pretty fair, actually. I don't want to get too off topic, but they're fair in the fact that the objective of the game is basically dealing with 6 damage on the opponent. So, like, when you take the damage, take the top card of your deck, put it on the side, right? You need 6 to win. And when you compare it to other games like Yu-Gi-Oh or everything, where you go 1-turn Scrooge for game, because like you know you don't even have to move and they can go burn you for game. Vanguard actually avoids that by having a 6 damage policy.
So it'll take you at least a couple turns.
It takes at least 2 turns to actually game someone properly in Vanguard. Like if you can actually pull it off, it'll need at least 2 turns because you're only allowed 3 units at attack.
Apparently this gentleman says he's here all the time.
So you only need the 2 units to attack, and or the 3 units. So it's 2 rears.
Against me.
Then the Vanguard. Vanguard goes. Even if I'm grade 3 and you go double crit. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The empty box.
Plus the 1 crit on the deck. So it's only 5 damage. You can't game them in the first turn. That's one of the things I find redeeming.
Yeah.
Well, there's 13 left in the 13. No, not even 9.
What else should I talk about right now? I've just been comparing you guys.
So basically what you guys can expect from us going forth is a bunch of community videos here at TnM in Brampton. Box openings, pack openings, deck profiles, matches.
A few more articles on like next stuff coming up, and I can guarantee you people that I'll actually work on my my talking because I just did this on the fly here.
And they'll be talking from me and other people as well. So yeah. So I guess that's it for now. Subscribe, like, comment, all that shenanigans. Tell your friends. And remember, visit TnM.com. Look for the Brampton or South location.
Every day.
And you guys have a good one.